Guys, I gotta be really honest, I was ready to praise the show heavily, but then Vince McMahon decided to sprinkle in bullshit comedy. Do 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 do. And then Matt Riddle was on the show, way too much for any of us bros, but then we had to endure more bad Nia and Charlotte stuff. Do 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 do. Oh, come on, baby, do the conga. I'm John Ritter with my review of WWE Raw from Miami, Florida, and provided that my horrible rendition of Gloria Estefan's Do the Conga did not make you want to melt your goddamn eardrums or do anything really to never hear me butcher a song again, welcome to the show, and thank you guys very much for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts on this show in the comments. But yes, I was all prepared to praise this show because for a while, even though yes, there were some roll-ups and there were some bad finishes and whatever, the pace of the matches were actually pretty damn good. And then it didn't just hit a wall, it kept colliding with it in the form of Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard and Johnny Ace and Kevin Dunn's form of basically doing whatever the fuck Vince McMahon wants to basically put out a show to just make the USA Network execs happy. Even though with the ratings, I can't imagine they'd be too goddamn happy, but holy fucking shit, it's time to do the conga right off the goddamn cliff, because that's what all the douchebag yes men would be doing if they followed Vince. Okay, I'm done. Anyway, we got Tag Team Turmoil pre-tapes from all the teams and wipe cuts. They decided to basically do a bad Star Wars wipe cut, for each one, and it was really, really bad scripted stuff. I didn't mind the fact that they were trying to do this stuff. They were trying to make it like Saturday Night's Main Event, only way worse, like the later renditions of Saturday Night's Main Event. So anyway, here's RK Bro. And then we smash cut to recaps, where basically we get to see how Orton and Riddle took down Lashley and MVP, and this is teasing how Orton wants to win the WWE Championship one more time because, his reign in 2020 was absolutely needed, except it totally fucking wasn't. And man, Orton wasn't wearing tights. He was wearing shorts, more like Randy Shorten. I work hard on these puns. Please love me. For the love of God, love me. It's the only way I can justify my silly existence at 40 years old, being a weird cracker. So anyway, he calls Lashley a greedy SOB because he wants 2 championships, yet Orton wants 2 championships because he just says that he does a little bit later. So who's really greedy? I got it. Orton's blaming him because he is the Viper, and the Viper can always take down the Almighty. Hell, I saw that in the movie once. So anyway, always delete search history. So Riddle talks about, getting weird masks like a rubber horse mask and a Viper mask and getting high and everything, and talks about, maybe we can raid people. We probably know what Riddle was really thinking, and if I have to spell it out for you, well, then you probably aren't getting it. If you get it, you get it. So MVP comes down and basically says about Riddle, I swear everyone loses brain cells when they hear you talk. MVP with the line of the goddamn night. Actually, one of the best lines of the year, because Riddle is kind of a fucking idiot when he talks. I mean, I know that's the idea, but he's a dumber RVD, because at least with RVD, he seemed aloof, but he appreciated what he did in the ring, and he could have good matches with a lot of people. Riddle is really good in the ring, and has that excess baggage. I'm not talking about the Alicia Silverstone Benicio del Toro movie. I think Benicio del Toro was in that. Whatever happened to that guy? No, he's in one of the Star Wars movies. Anyway, moving on from that. So MVP also said something, I believe in French, to the crowd. I actually don't know. I know it was in Spanish. I don't understand what the hell he said. He could have been speaking French. He might as well have been speaking the language from the third ring of Saturn. Or maybe the fourth atmosphere of Neptune, or perhaps even from the clouds of Uranus. So anyway, Lashley and Randy basically have a war of words. Lashley says, I don't want it from behind, Randy. I want you to give it to me in my face. I may have misunderstood that, but fuck it. I'm going to roll with it. So, basically, Orton wants a title match. And he says, why the fuck now? Why not? And then New Day shows up in outsider gear and everything, and Nash somehow tore his quad when they wore that gear. You're going to insert yourself in this match. Phrasing, says Xavier. That was pretty good. Basically, Lashley and MVP want to be part of this tag team turmoil match because they want to get all the gold. They like gold, even though the titles aren't really gold. They're like a weird silver, penny. Like if you take all the shine off and everything. Get your shine on, take your shine off. Shine down. I dare you to walk through fire and make a better title now. Whoa, man, I can't even sing Shine Down one goddamn bit. Let's move on. Riddle then, basically gets to live out his Raid fantasy watching this, and, tag team turmoil match where it's the Viking Raiders versus the New Day. I miss War Machine. That's all I'm going to say about this. Though the contrast with these first two teams, it's black, it's white, it's the Viking Raiders and New Day. And I don't really have another way to segue out of a Michael Jackson song reference. So here we go. So it certainly exists. Yeah. Well, certainly, missed that opportunity. So I will say this was well paced, and if they were War Machine, I would give a shit. But of course, we get the most devastating maneuver in all professional wrestling. Surprise roll up 1, 2, 3, and then New Day taking on Jinveer. I think it was Veer with Jinder. I actually really don't know because I stopped caring about this stable before they existed. So they're they're picking the depleted bone of New Day is what I heard. I know it's depleted bones, but fuck it. Maybe they just have one bone. Kind of gross, especially given the tag team action and one member of the moving on. Jinveer got eliminated. Oh no. And then the Lucha House Porkies got eliminated because why the hell would anybody care about Lucha House Party at this point? I'm just coming up with silly names because Dorado and Grand Metalik are very talented, but my God, they got new music. Congratulations. It's still a stupid name. A really stupid name. The Flying Catmandu, we get Flippy shit, and then, of course, most devastating maneuver in all professional wrestling. Surprise roll up 1, 2, 3. And then New Day is taking on Dijak and Dio. It was me, Dio, because those are their names. It's not Mason T-Bar. Those are stupid names. Really stupid names. Just send them home with pay for a year if you're going to keep stupid names on people. So anyway, we get the most devastating maneuver in all professional wrestling. Surprise roll up 1, 2, 3. Because of course we do. It's tag team roll up turmoil. Term roll up? No, that doesn't really work at all. So Dijak and Dio maul New Day, and then Mansoor, because he's like, no, not this way, no, you stop that. And Ali's trying to say, you idiot, we're trying to win this match, and also 2-on-1, and oh, god damn it. I can show you the world, I will have to take this beating. Oh, that's not going to get me in trouble at all. So it looks at one point that Dijak and Dio decided to step things up by using the steps, and then they had a stare down with Kofi and beat everybody up. And then Sonya and the Getty Images guys, shout out to you, Bobby, because I know you like that name. But yes, Adam Pearce basically said, well, these guys are going to get some time to rest, and then we're going to have the rest of the tag team turmoil match a little bit later on, at the end of the night, basically. So the first, basically, hour of this show kind of ended up being just kind of nullified. I will say, if they didn't have such stupid names, and if they weren't part of the group that used to call themselves Retribution, then maybe I would care about them, but honestly, it's really not all that good. So, during the break they did that. This keeps going. It was what it was. I mean, it wasn't bad. Then we get Drew versus Sheamus. It wasn't dull. It wasn't as good as the other match that they had on Raw that I really praised. That being said, very, very good stuff. It was a contenders match. They must have just discovered that New Japan and other companies did shit like this, and they were like, hey, let's have a contenders match. Let's keep having contenders matches without understanding the concept of contenders. Because Tegan and Shotzi, beat Natty and Tamina a few times and still haven't gotten their tag title shot. And then we get a tag title shot for another team a little bit later, and it's just messy. And why the hell is it a contenders match? They aren't fucking contend for anything. That being said, I like the tag team turmoil stuff, and there was some good stuff to it. But then they kind of nullified it with that. Now, that being said, Drew versus Sheamus, again, pretty goddamn good. Big men fisting each other. Man, a thick, tall Scottish man fisting a thick Irish man in Miami on camera. Again, always delete your search history. And I did like the big superplex. Ow, my mask. Really, really good stuff here. Really good action. These two work very well together. I'm not saying I want to see these matches all the time, but if they revisit them on occasion and just can deliver these kind of matches, then they'll spice things up. This is an example of shit that WWE can do correctly on their television. So, the mask gets off, and oh no, he's unmasked, man. He can't go anywhere in a store now because his mask is off. By the way, wear your goddamn mask even if you got vaccinated, because some people are real fucking idiots out there. So anyway, the most devastating maneuver in all professional wrestling. Surprise roll up 1, 2, 3. Stop me if you've heard that before. Probably should have reversed those. But goddamn, mask upside your head, the mask upside your head, man. And I thought Snoop was just upside your head. God, I couldn't sound more white if I tried. By the way, Priest was all happy and everything because he's going to retain against Sheamus, and he says that he speaks in Spanish, which I know. Roxy, you're awesome, but I know you were perfectly fine during this. Roxy's awesome, provided that she doesn't absolutely call me out for mentioning this. But it's all for fun because I love my friends. My friends are awesome, fellow Twitter mutuals. Anyway, he says he will win in Extreme Rules. Then Rhea and Nikki. Ernest es superhero. Okay. Jokes aside, she had Daph on her armband. Very sweet. Rest in peace, Daphne. In all seriousness, that was very good stuff. You could tell she meant a lot to her. I can see how Daphne would have influenced Nikki Cross or Nikki Ash. Sorry, had to work that one in there. But in all seriousness, that was very sweet. It was a very good tribute. Now, Rhea is like looking at her like, what the hell's going on? They're going to be Team Super Brutality. I also saw that in the movie once, and let me tell you right now, it made that 1 7-minute long sequence from blue is the warmest color seem like child's play. And I'm not talking about the Chucky series. I'm going to move on from this comparison. I don't know what they're doing with Rhea. I don't know why they care. I still need her to step on me, but now we move on to... Well, we move on to Charlotte backstage, by the way, talking about how, Nia's threatening to splatter her all over the ring or whatever. I would have thought Andrade and her were doing the splattering. Ha ha, giggity. Andrade el olio. So, Charlotte then says, long live the Queen. Can it be like Mary, Queen of Scots? Google it, kids, and if you get it, you'll really fucking get why I said that. At least for the character. Rhea and Nikki Ash versus Natty and Tamina. Was this for the Raw? Was this for the Women's Tag Team Championships, or was this just a contenders match? I think it was a contenders match. They would just throw shit at the goddamn screen, so I kind of got lost. Now, mind you, there is a Snuka in the ring around 3 women, and Corey mentions putting on capes and jumping down the stairs, because we all know that Jimmy Snuka sure loved him some stairs, especially when women were going down the stairs, Superfly, woo, woo, and... He's burning in hell, by the way, for what he did, but he never served a day in jail for murdering Nancy Argentino. So, the new NXT logo, by the way, is absolute goddamn dog shit. Also, a prone, leather-clad Australian Amazon. I usually have to go to a different kind of website to see that because I type as well as I talk, in case you can't tell. So, this match wasn't bad. There was some pretty good action, but Tamina's in there, and this is the best Tamina has looked, which isn't saying much because she usually gets injured if anybody even sneezes in her direction, and Vince McMahon yells at them for sneezing. Riptide on Natty, 1, 2, 3. And then Rhea likes when Nikki hangs on scissors her like that. I'm not saying I wouldn't watch, because if I said that, you wouldn't believe me. I cannot imagine how any women watch my shows. I really can't. So anyway, why is Moist TV a thing? Morrison has his dripsticks. They're backstage, and he's interviewing Lord Humongous, a.k.a. Karrion Kross, if you will. I'll stop calling him that when he pulls his head out of his ass and stops being friends with Drake Wuertz and realizes, oh yeah, maybe you shouldn't be a Q fucker, and you shouldn't be a goddamn idiot. But then again, there are quite a few like that, like Jericho, and the fact that his, wife and mother-in-law were part of the January 6th insurrection attempt. And no, I'm not going to forget that. I'm going to slide that in. I'm going to keep doing that with Jericho until he hopefully goes away for fucking good. And then he can float up like a hot air balloon full of goddamn alcohol into the sun. So anyway, basically he says he wants to eliminate him to commence the final phase of his plan to take over Raw. He might as well have said that with the way he was looking. And Walt Disney looked up and was smiling, I guess. So anyway, so keep in mind what Karrion Kross's theme, or Lord Humongous's theme is. I'm just going to keep calling him that. It's Fallen Prey. His theme is Fallen Prey, right? While he's making his entrance with the worst, Lord Humongous demolition mashup that I've ever seen, he would have been better off dressed as Repo Man or Holy One Barry Darso. That's a real deep cut. September is Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month. What do you think about the fact they're plugging this while Fallen Prey is playing? Could you not have picked any better time? I mean, shit, Nia injures people, but you could have done it there. Why did you have to do it and talk about fall and pray? Fall and pray. We're trying to make sure that the kids have a good time and maybe they can heal from this cancer and beat it and everything. And maybe fall and pray wasn't the best choice. But whatever. Vince McMahon continued a goddamn pay-per-view after Owen Hart, fell to his death and everything, and did the whole bunch of stuff, and had the limo explosion, and only stopped that because Chris Benoit decided that his wife and kids should, tap out, and the referee was not there to signal the bell. I'm going to hell, but whatever. I'm just going to dig my way further there. So anyway, Lord Humongous took on John Morrison, and he dripsticked him at one point. Let me tell you from experience, we bald people do not like getting unexpected facials. Well, there is one. Anyway, basically he won, and let's just go on from there. So why is Nia here? Genuinely, why is Nia here? Her hair basically blocks out the sun, and her promos block out my interest from, continuing to watch Raw. But I soldier on because why the hell not? Not talking about Kurt Russell's Soldier. I'm just going to keep chucking song references and shit in here because I don't care anymore. Because they don't care anymore. So anyway, Charlotte took on Nia with Shayna. And as for the Women's Championship, I don't remember them making it for a championship. Charlotte got a lot of pyro, by the way. Shayna basically bashes Nia, saying, I've had it with her. This has been going on for so goddamn long. I think I had a birthday when they first started teasing breaking up. And it's only been a number of weeks, maybe a couple months, but it just feels like it's been going on for about 5 years. So this was Plan 9 from outer space levels of bad when it came to action. I mean, my fucking goodness. Tor Johnson did better shit there. The guy that was pretending to be Bela Lugosi, check out the Ed Wood movie if you haven't. They had to basically get, I think it was the wife's chiropractor or something, to be Bela Lugosi, because from here, he looked like Bella, so they decided to do this. If you don't know who Bela Lugosi is, you're not as old as I am, and even I was not alive when Bela Lugosi was around. But yes, they would do the chops, and do this and everything, and they would do this, and woo, they would do that, and basically, any of that shit from Plan 9 looked better than anything Charlotte and Nia did. This may have been more catastrophic than the match that they had the previous week. Charlotte, when motivated, can actually do some stuff, and she is a tremendous athlete. Nia is basically, sorry to say, like a deer on ice, which is unfair, because deers on ice, if you actually can rescue them before the ice cracks, they're adorable. Nia's not. Nia is very destructive for anybody's 5 senses. Smell, taste, sight, sound, and feel. Probably feel, definitely. It probably feels like, it's like, ooh, this is a beanbag chair. What's going on? I'm being cruel for no reason, which is so unusual. So, they did more embarrassing shit. I did like how Nia ripped off Charlotte's lashes. Shayna was causing a distraction. Charlotte wins. And then, what do? We go to Alexa on the screen. She's got Lily and everything and says, oh, are you... I don't remember the exact wording or whatever, but she says, you saw all this, shit going on in your life or whatever. It's like, well, of course you are. You're a flare. And it was a pretty good line. She didn't say the word shit, but I'm just paraphrasing here. So I didn't have time to write the shit down because, oh yeah, the Alexa gimmick and the Lily thing is absolutely fucking stupid. I fucking hate it. I know some people like it, and that's great. If you guys like any of the stuff here that I don't like, fantastic. This is where the show started to go downhill. And she says, well, come on to the playground or whatever. This isn't your playground. This is mine. I'm the queen. God, again, Mary Queen of Scots, please. For the love of God, off with her head. So, we'll come to you. The crowd cheered this. Every Miami franchise from college to pro deserved to have 5 straight losing seasons because you fuckers decided to cheer this stuff. Yeah, I'm just going to say, I'm sorry for the few people in Miami that happen to be watching this. If you enjoyed the show, I'm happy for you. But, cool. We're getting Charlotte versus Alexa at Extreme Rules. We're going to get spoopy shit. Maybe it's going to be the horror show at Extreme Rules, and that's it. Reggie may actually get over. It's just not going to be with the 24/7 championship. He beats Tozawa quickly by lunging his taint at him. After the break, they went to break and then did this. And then we had Jeff Hardy, Cedric Alexander, Truth, Humberto Carrillo, and various others. Various others just show up and do this stuff and everything. I think Jackson Riker was also there, proving that Jackson Riker does not deserve to be employed by any reputable wrestling company, but whatever. And then Drake is suddenly here. Truth tried to chase Drake away and basically say, go back to your wife and everything because people want to remember those skits. I hated those skits. I know some people like them, and that's fine. I hated them. I don't mind comedy in my wrestling. This isn't funny. And they're doing more of this shit. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. Piper, that's her name, was talking about Kerma Chameleon. So anyway, I think we need a chameleon. No, we need a Komodo dragon to be unleashed on whoever decided to greenlight this feud. She is challenging Eva to a rematch. There. The end of that. Pick this up. Tag Team Turmoil 2, Electric Boogaloo. 4 teams left. New Day and Ali and Mansoor decide to launch an assault on each other. No ceasefire in here. We get a huge superplex, and, well, Ali was about to win. Mansoor says, no, not this way. And then Ali gets in and says, I will show you what to do. And ow, I crashed, and then I got beat. Trouble in Paradise and Elbow 1, 2, 3. Styles and Omos show up. And, well, Omos says, fuck your hot tags. And Styles basically hits a style clash sometime after 1, 2, 3. There was more to this, but it was starting to try my patience at this point, because it's basically 2 tag team turmoil matches. They had one go on way too goddamn long with a beatdown that went on for years, but it served a purpose. But then we got to this where it just kept going. Yes, New Day obviously are a great tag team. Are they the greatest WWE tag team of all time? I don't think so, but other people did. Check out my reviews of that entire list if you would like. So anyway, Styles and Omos are going to take on Lashley and MVP. MVP basically doesn't do much of anything because he's older, injured, and this is all about building Styles to eventually take the pin. But we got to see Lashley versus Omos. And Omos is trying. He's trying, but he almost dropped Lashley multiple times, and this is a little bit scary. And Lashley is a freak athlete. But we did get a front suplex where Lashley landed really badly. Styles then dives on Lashley and Orton. Almost throws Riddle. He should have thrown him out of the goddamn arena or whatever. And then spear on Styles 1, 2, 3. And then the choke bomb on Lashley. He was stumbling a lot before that, so I hope he's alright. And then we get an RKO from out of nowhere, actually, in the ring. To Lashley 1, 2, 3. And that's it. That's basically it right there. So yeah, we're going to go do the conga, and we're going to go off to see what happens with the last taped NXT before the new NXT logo and show. With a kaleidoscope that threw up, on a goddamn psychedelic toad. What that's going to be like. Anyway, agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.